two sides sitting on the edge of the top 6 places are set to go head-to-head tonight as the Canterbury Crusaders will be hosting the Guardians of the Crib as we continue on our way through round 8 of season 4 in the Global Rugby Challenge. Hello everyone and welcome back along to your home of rugby in this round 8 clash between the Crusaders and the Guardians. These two sides are really close on the table and this is going to be detrimental massively for the team who can't pick out the victory on the field here tonight. The Crusaders are at home and they've got a red crowd already ready to support them, as you can see on the backdrop here, and their form heading into today's matchup has been, well, it's been less than impressive, hasn't it? In their last 2 outings, around 6 it was a loss to the Pacific Tower, 30 points to 17. That really was a bit of a shock to their system. In round 7 they thought they might get one over the All Flakes, who have had a woeful season so far, but they couldn't get the job done as a late charging comeback saw the All Flakes take their one by a whisker, 24 points to 21. They are still in with a shot to keep their season alive. They sit in 7th position and a win here tonight will put them right back into that top 6. A real battle going on with the Crusaders, Leinster, the Guardians, and of course a couple of other subscriber sides like the Dragons as well, right in the mix on the bottom of those top 6 places. Their team for tonight has been very consistent throughout the whole season as well, and sees no changes for tonight either. Moody, Taylor and Franks in their front row with Scott Barrett and Whitelock in the middle of the pack. It's Fitu Douglas on the blindside flank, Matt Todd open, and of course Kieran Reid at number 8. Mitchell Drummond has been keeping his number 9 jersey firmly on his back, and he'll partner Richie Mwanga in the halves. Ryan Crotty and Jack Goodhue, what other midfield combination would you like with George Bridge, Sevu Reece and David Harvili lining up at fullback for the back 3 of the Crusaders? A dangerous team, a very good team, and there's little wonder why these guys are world class and continually a champion team. And for the Guardians of the Crib, a similar story sits in their season so far. 5th position, they're inside that top 6, but a win here will make it all the more secure against those teams right on their tails. 4 wins, 2 losses so far in their 6 matches, and their recent form has seen at least a victory, which is more than what they can say of their opponents. 24-7 back in round 7, that was last round. They took out Toulouse in comprehensive style, but before that was a gut-wrenching loss, 17-14 to the Celtic Dragons. They'll be wanting more of the W's in today's fixture, and they'll be wanting to put the pressure on those top teams like the Hugwaras, the Flakers, the Toa, who are up there sitting pretty inside the top 3 places. The team tonight for the Guardians of the Crib, starting off the front row, Isaac Fashure will be on the loose head side with Baisav Waifunga at hooker and Viggo Ogier on the tight head side of the front row. Michael Shepherd and Elliot Knight will combine together in the middle of the pack with Daniel Vera at 6. James Wanyama on the open side and Michael Joseph will line up at number 8. Into the back line will be Lewis Gardner, who will do the duties at number 9. Scrum half with Don Butler outside him at 10. It's a strong looking midfield of Kieran Jones alongside Tom Guest at 13. Moving into the back 3, it'll be Asher Antonio on the left wing, Daniel Fashure on the right, and Louis Evans will be lining up at fullback for the Guardians, looking to put another win on the board, number 5, if they can get the victory here tonight over their close-placed rivals, the Canterbury Crusaders. This one on the road, and sure to be tough to beat a team like that. So we are ready for a kickoff. It's the Crusaders with ball in hand there, of course, in the red and black, up against the blue and white with a bit of red for the Guardians. And here we go! Richie Mwanga gets this round 8 clash underway. It is 5th versus 7th. And a real nail-biter on paper, but how will the two teams perform on the field as we go short, nice and early from the Guardians. Gardner getting it outside to Michael Shepherd for the first hit up. Here's a pick and go from Joseph, finding against Shepherd, who's raging in the middle of the park and finds support there from Ogier, who gets up to halfway. Big start here as Shepherd gets his 3rd touch in as many plays, and it's kicked away eventually from Don Butler, looking for the corner and finding it nicely inside the 22 of the Crusaders. Don Butler and Tom Guest, big combination for the Guardians. As now we find Cody Taylor to throw into the line out. They are 20 metres from their own line. They throw to the money man, Sam Whitelock, in the middle of the park, and now they thread it out to Richie Moanga. And he drills this long. Daniel Fasure, a long chase back here for the winger, and he turns nicely. Gets half away from one tackle. In trouble on the sideline. Loses the ball. Crusaders a turnover. Middle of the park, man. Todd up towards the 22. Good tackle, taking him down. Just in the nick of time from Isaac Fasure. Drummond back inside to Franks. Franks to the 22. Franks overwhelmed. Franks loses the ball as well. Now the Guardians looking to turn things back their side. Offloading coming thick and fast as Tom Guest takes it to ground. And who else is right there? Michael Shepherd. Pick and go again from Joseph. He goes nowhere. A metre or two gain. Gardner leaves it for Butler. And a big bust straight for the middle goes Waifunga. Out wide he passes to Fasure. And Daniel Fasure gets a clean run on the right wing for a try. 5 points to the Guardians. All the hard work done by Saf Waifunga, who just slipped straight through of a short ball from Tom Butler. Excellent work. 10 and 2 combining brilliantly to find 14 Daniel Fasure on the right wing with an impeccable finish for the Guardians of the Crib. This was magical work. Tom Butler threading the needle of Waifunga, and that was enough. A great pass by a hooker, multi-skilled, multi-talented. You'd expect that from a 9 or a 10, but it was Bathaf Waifunga who slips it through beautifully as well. And here is the first shot at goal, will be taken from Lewis Gardner, who's got the kicking boots on tonight for the Guardians. And an easy one to start him off, just to the right hand of the uprights. And Gardner adds the first 2-pointer. It's 7-0. Guardians of the Crib over the Crusaders. 15 minutes in, our first points of the night. Richie Moanga gets us back underway. It was a bit of a toil for the Guardians to get that position. It worked it well as here is Tom Guest. Throws the ball straight away. Finding George Bridge straight off the turnover. Kieran Reid. Brilliant work there from the number 8. Charging straight in the middle of the park there. Ryan Crotty loses the ball. Crusaders can't believe it. Such an opportunity there to score. Charging straight to contact and losing the ball straight away. No support play. The Guardians, well, they are pretty on top of this game when it comes to the breakdown so far. Lewis Gardner kicks to touch. And it will be the creator, Waifunga to throw. Big line out to the back. It's taken in nicely from Elliot Knight. Pick and go from Vera, finding support out from Guest. Now they double round nicely. Finally getting the ball out to left-hand wing. The chance for extra. Antonio! High tackle comes in. And that's trouble for Havili. Quickly fired through the Guardians' backline. The numbers were created out wide. And Asher Antonio is an electric customer. And all the Guardians, they're going for the corner. Taking no prisoners here tonight. They're going for tries and tries alone. It's a top team like the Crusaders. Some may argue you've got to take the points on offer. You've got to take them when you can. Have they thrown away 3 easy points here? The Guardians. Line out. Goes to the back, and this time Sam Whitelock steals it from the grasp. And yes, they have thrown away 3 points early. And straight through goes Reid. Kieran Reid up to the 10-metre line. Offload's coming thick and fast as Matt Todd takes the ground. And a turnover for the Guardians. Michael Shepherd again. What an offload from Butler. Finds support of O'Shea, and the offload is forward. Knocked on in the end. Great offload from O'Shea. And that was almost magic from the Guardians, but the Crusaders have a chance now to break out of their 22. Waiting for it is Mitchell Drummond, but he won't get it. Tom Guest is livid.
Crouch,
that pass from O'Shea was magical, but it could not find that hot pocket of the receiver. And a great scrum from the Crusaders. Drummond out to his right of Richie Moanga, who skips out, goes nicely to Crotty, who puts it back inside again. Quick ball. Now they're getting a bit of continuity as Severis. It's a back inside, another half break from Ryan Crotty. This time loses the ball. John the side of the ruck and just hammered a drop goal from 30 metres out on the angle. Magical, magical stuff from Lewis Gardner. Well, it was only a little half break from Ryan Crotty. He thought he had done something right. And in turn, he has been absolutely thrashed as here's a problem. Daniel Fishore's gone down, injury to the right winger. Fishore down. And Fishore out of the match as well. That is just one of them. Isaac's still there, the loose head prop. But here he is, Pedro Luz. Of course, come on a couple of rounds ago and did not have the best of times. We can only say that. But tonight has a chance for Lewis after starting the last game. Great scrum too from the Guardians. Gardner to Butler. Into midfield it goes, Kieran Jones. Can't break his way through. He loses the ball as well. More chances for the Crusaders. It's Bridge on the left side. Passes off to Reed. Reed fends one, but taken from behind. Close one there for the Crusaders. Now they've got a chance. They're just 10 out. Time is up for the first half as Franks takes contact and is driven backwards as well. Douglas out to Reed. Nicely finding it to Todd. Man, Todd goes 5 short. Slow ball. Pick and go now. Fit to Douglas. Douglas a metre short. So close to the line, the Crusaders. Can they turn it to points? It doesn't look like it as celebrations come the way of the Guardians. And away it goes to Don Butler, who hammers this into touch. And that will be the first half between these two sides. It is the Guardians of the Crib 10, the Crusaders 0. And what a first half it has been as well. And look at those stats. Domination in the numbers from the Guardians. 77% of possession to just 23. We can see both sides keen to attack the Crusaders. They've had 5 line breaks so far in that first half, yet to make one of them a single try. That is the tale of the first 40 minutes. Let's get back to the action. The second 40 is about to get underway as Lewis Gardner kicks his back off and is taken down by Fitu Douglas for the Crusaders as they look to work their way back out of their own half. Standing at the back and going through it with a scamper. Cuddy Taylor finding some room on the right-hand side and getting it nicely away. Once again, Ryan Crotty has the ball. It's on the inside from Seven Rees. The start of dreams for the Crusaders. And Seven Rees dives to the stars and puts the Crusaders on the board. Exactly the start they were wanting for the Crusaders. Brilliant work down the short side. Ryan Crotty, magic man, with a pass and drawing the last defenders and finding Severis. And he puts the points on the board. The Crusaders in the action now. This was magical, it really was. Splitting between Shepherd and Evans and somehow getting the pass away to that man, Severis, who is one of the most deadly finishers in world rugby. And that is quite the start to the second half for the Crusaders. They are now in the game well and truly at 10 points to 5, and you would put your house on Rishi Moanga to add the extra 2, which is exactly what he does. Perfection from the tee from Moanga, and the game is now separated by only the brilliance of the Lewis Gardner drop goal from the base of a ruck. Of all places, a real spectacle, that one. Speaking of him, here he is getting the game back underway, and this time he kicks high to the right-hand side, and it's Reed who's under alongside Taylor, and they slip it to the left-hand side where it's Owen Franks who trudges his way up to the 22. Now they look to the left. It's nicely done too. Little pass back inside from Matt Todd. Getting support play there. Here's Douglas away to Whitelock. Nice cross. Stewie on now. High tackle. George Bridge taken high around the chops. And that could be trouble too. Elliot Knight arguing his case. But the referee has no more to say on the matter. Richie Moanga opts for the corner. And he gets him nicely up over halfway as well. 3 points the difference. Taylor the throw. just inside the Guardians' half. And it's taken from Whitelock. Down it goes. So now they quickly fire it out to Seven Reese on the right-hand edge again. Looks inside. A nice little ball. Finding. Oh, yes. Brilliant work of the breakdown. Kieran Reid was the man on the inside channel. He got put down and got taken over by 2 or 3 Guardians players. And he put that penalty perfectly in position. And there has been no messing about either. Don Butler, captain for the night. And he has given the ball straight to Lewis Gardner. 55, straight in front, and over. Well, the accuracy was spot on from Lewis Gardner. It was a hard kick. It was a long way out. But he gave it the full wallop. And that has put that lead back out to 6 now. The Crusaders back underway through Moanga. Getting a little short one straight to the hands. And another penalty back the other way now. Daniel Vera gives it back to the Crusaders. Well, this one's only 40, not even 40, probably 36 metres out. And no surprise to see Richie Moanga will line up to have an instant hit back, an instant return. Not even a phase in between. Moanga strikes it well and over it goes. Another 3 points to the Crusaders. And the scoreline is cut straight back to 13 points to 10. The lead now just 3. Just as quickly as they extend that lead back out, the Crusaders pull it right back. And this one is a long, long way from being over. Lewis Gardner is back underway, and Petru Douglas pulls it in for the Crusaders side. He is Drummond with a strong run. The support's here from Todd, and Whitelock going backwards in full fighting, and eventually back in to George Bridge on the left side. In their own half here, the Crusaders, they won't want to stay here at all. Joe Moody picking though from him, and a chance to turn over. Big pressure here. The Guardians have turned it over. Now Jones, quickly wide. 2 passes and it's almost the sidelines. Back in field again. They go back to where it all started on this right-hand edge. And now they're under pressure. 1 phase, about 6 passes, and they've lost the ball again. Reed into Moanga, and out wide they go. Goodhue fighting it beautifully to Ryan Crotty, who is in touch. 2 sides getting quite expansive now as this game wears on. Big tackle on the side, hitting the left of Ryan Crotty. And now Waifunga with the line-out throw to the back. It's nicely dragged in too from Elliot Knight. They thread it through. It's Kieran Jones, a nice ball out to Tom Guess. He's got Pedro Laws with him. Goes to him now, but he's picked up. Read like a book beautifully by the Crusaders, covering defence. And Pedro Laws is hammered into touch. Nice little combination play though from the Guardians. They just couldn't quite get the timing play of it right. And now the line out, stolen in the middle. Elliot Knight does beautifully, and he threads it inside to a second-row partner, Michael Shepherd. Just outside the 22 now. Winyama, back it goes, and a shot at goal. It's a top goal at 10 from Don Butler, and it's over. Well, that 3 points was lost. Now it's back again. 16 points to 10. This game is getting tight. The 2 sides are ignoring the chances of 7 now, and they're going straight for the 3s at every given chance. They're turned over lineouts, and swiftly as 1 real phase. We've got that 3 points back, and amazingly too, to have the pass from the scrum half, that was the big man James Winyama.
Release.
We are back underway though, and it's the Guardians who have dragged the ball in, and just short of their own 10-metre line. They're playing dangerous rugby at the moment. Michael Shepherd having a few little hit-up plays as now they find a beautiful space again. Waifunga's through. Can he seal the deal? Inside support's there from Fashore. He goes to his right, and it's his front row partner, Vigo Ogier, who is there in support. Lewis Gardner, pick and go. Now he fires. Big double cutout pass to Asher Antonio. And now again, Waifunga. Waifunga goes upfield again. Kieran Jones beautifully back to Butler. And the chance to the line. Daniel Vera away to Antonio, who is driven into touch. A little bit of excitement there from the Guardians. The interplay between those players was something outstanding. As we've got George Withers on for Michael Shepherd in the second row, and Daniel Vera, just blowing that chance, has been swiftly replaced from Bowers in the back row. Line out to the Crusaders, and Whitelock's got a beautiful out of Mooney down the short side. Joe Mooney is put in touch by the cover defence of the Guardians. Well, a little bit exciting there. Something a little bit different from the Crusaders. But they needed that to stick, because look at the time. My goodness me, it's flown by. 80 minutes is up. There goes the buzzer. Win the line out. Put it in touch, Guardians. That's all you need to do. They're not though. Kieran Jones out wide. Finally to Pedro Luz. And Pedro Luz will score. And the Guardians will deny the Crusaders the bonus points. That is huge. In the context of the season, Pedro Luz has played spoiler on the highest level of the ball. Tom Guest getting the cutout pass from Kieran Jones and then delivering one of his own to his right winger. Reserve right winger as well. Here's one. Kieran Jones skipped out the referee. Then another pass, skipping out James Wanyama. He was a decoy, big boy. If it all went wrong, Wanyama was going to hold on to the ball and have another go. And amazingly as that was, it was all done after the 80th minute. 86 in fact, as here is the shot at goal from Lewis Gardner from the right-hand edge. And you can guarantee yourself another 2 points of him on the tee, 23 points to 10. And it's gone from a close battle to an easy win to the Guardians as they coast home in the end against the Crusaders, who only have themselves to blame for a poor finish. They were in this game. At one point it was 13 points to 10. But they couldn't get in the right areas of the field. They couldn't get that momentum going forward. And they were pinned down in their own halves. And that was the final say of it. For the Crusaders, Semi Reese with a try. Richie Bawanga a conversion and a penalty. For the Guardians, Fasore and Lewis with the tries. And it was, of course, Lewis Gardner with 2 conversions and a penalty goal, but it was one each. Gardner and Butler with the 2 drop goals that put them in a different class of the Crusaders. Full-time stats, possession and territory nudged about 60% to 40 to the Guardians, but look at the rest of the stats. Line breaks there, that one tells me a massive tail, 8-7. Crusaders, where's your finishing gone? They are going to need to find it, and they're going to need to find it very, very fast as well, as the season seems to be drifting very quickly away from them. We can see round 8 is now, well, almost 2/3 complete. We have 6 games this round. We have completed 4. We saw the Flakers go over the Glasgow Warriors in the opening game. Big win there. Toulouse over the Exeter Chiefs. Hugwadas over Leinster. And now the Guardians of the Crib in the big match over the Crusaders, 23 points to 10. Still to come, however, we have the Saracens up against the Tower. That's next game coming your way. And then Clermont will take on the struggling All Flakes in the final game of round 8. Then plenty more action still to come, but we are getting really close to the end of the regular season now. Only a number of rounds remain, just a few before we get into the real nitty-gritty. So for teams like the All Flakes, they need big wins to propel themselves back into those top 6 places. On the table, we can see not much has changed at the top. This was a game that wasn't going to affect the front runners of this competition. The Hugwadas and the Flakers still sit top with 31 points each, but of course that big win for the Hugwadas puts them above the Flakers in number 1. And of course, they got that game in hand as well. The Tower still to play this round, sit on 27. The Guardians, however, they have played this round, and they are 4 points adrift on 23. A bit of a gap there, opening up 4 points between 1 and 2 and 3rd, and then 4 points more between 3rd and 4th. And then we see the Dragons in 5th, 1 point adrift of the Guardians, but again, still they've got that game in hand. Leinster and the Crusaders, unfortunately for the Cantabrians, they couldn't get that leapfrog and back up into the 20s where they think they deserve to be. However, the All Flakes, they're on 15 now. They've got the chance to leapfrog the Crusaders and Leinster and into that top 6. And so that does leave us with our next matchup, which is the Pacific Tower versus the Saracens. That is an away match for the Tower, and they will be looking to assert themselves back up in the top of that table. They are 4 points adrift now, so a win will put them equal with the Hugwadas and the Flakers, but they'll be wanting much more than that, a bonus point win, and no less against one of the cellar dwellers of this year's league, Saracens, and that could put them outright first, with, of course, still that game in hand for the Hugwadas as well. So it's still a lot of water to go under this table bridge just yet. Who's going to take that minor premiership team. You can almost guarantee that the Hugwaras are going to be there or thereabouts come the end of the regular season. That is today's episode, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the game and the performance from the Guardians, who, well, they played it tough till the very bitter end and come away comfortable winners over the Crusaders. Of course, next up, Toa Saracens, and plenty more action from round 8 as well. But until then, thanks for tuning in and watching. Hope you're enjoying the series as well, and I'll see you all for our next game. Until then, take care.